Welcome to our channel. In today's video, you'll discover the 122 advanced C1 verbs that will elevate your English to the next level. Whether you're preparing for an exam or aiming to enhance your language skills, this comprehensive list is packed with verbs, complete with definitions and example sentences to help you understand the context and use them effectively. We've categorized the verbs to use in different purposes such as 11 verbs for persuasion and influence, 13 verbs for communication and expression, 7 verbs for actions and movements, 9 verbs for changing situations or conditions, 7 verbs for negative actions or criticism, 11 verbs for legal and official actions, 7 verbs for evasion or avoidance, 5 verbs for initiation and completion, 6 verbs for cognitive processes, 5 verbs for strengthening or supporting, 6 verbs for positive change and growth, 5 verbs for strengthening or supporting, 11 verbs for persuasion and influence, 5 verbs for strengthening or supporting, 5 verbs for opposition or resistance. Bonus 20 verbs. These advanced verbs will enhance your ability to articulate thoughts clearly, impressively, and effectively. Get ready to enrich your vocabulary and impress with your linguistic prowess. Let's get started.
Cajole. To persuade with flattery or gentle urging. She cajoled him into trying the new restaurant. He managed to cajole his friend to join the event. They cajoled the cat out of its hiding place. Coerce. To compel by force or threat. The dictator tried to coerce the citizens to obey. She felt coerced into signing the contract. They coerced him to reveal the secret. Convince. To persuade someone to believe or do something. She convinced her friends to go hiking. He convinced the jury of his innocence. They convinced me to try the new gadget. Encourage. To give support, confidence, or hope. The coach encouraged the team before the match. She encouraged him to follow his dreams. Parents should encourage their kids to read. Lobby. To seek to influence legislators or officials. They lobbied for new environmental policies. The group lobbied the senator to support the bill. Activists lobbied for animal rights protection. Influence. To have an effect on the behavior or decisions. Her speech influenced many voters. The teacher influenced his students positively. Advertising can influence consumer choices. Manipulate. To control or influence unfairly or dishonestly. He manipulated the data to his advantage. She tried to manipulate her friends to get her way. They manipulated the situation for profit. Motivate. To provide a reason to act. The movie motivated him to pursue acting. She motivated her team to meet the deadline. They motivated the students to study hard. Persuade. To cause someone to do something through reasoning. He persuaded her to take the job offer. She persuaded the committee to approve the project. They persuaded me to join the club. Urge. To strongly recommend or encourage. They urged the public to stay indoors during the storm. She urged her friend to apply for the scholarship. The doctor urged him to quit smoking. Wheedle. To influence or entice by soft words or flattery. She wheedled her way into getting a discount. He wheedled his parents into letting him stay out late. They wheedled the secret out of him. Convey. To communicate ideas or feelings. Words alone cannot convey the depth of his feelings. She used gestures to convey her message clearly. Art can convey emotions words cannot. Appeal. To make a serious or urgent request. The charity made an appeal for donations. He appealed to his friends for support. The politician appealed for calm during the crisis. Articulate. To express an idea fluently and coherently. She could not articulate her feelings properly. He articulated his plan to the team clearly. They need to articulate their concerns better. Acknowledge. To accept or admit the truth or existence of. He acknowledged the mistake publicly. She nodded to acknowledge their presence. They acknowledged the importance of teamwork. Assert. To state a fact or belief confidently and forcefully. He asserted his authority over the group. She asserted that she was right about the decision. They assert their rights in every meeting. Advocate. To publicly recommend or support. She advocates for animal rights passionately. He advocates for better working conditions. They advocate the use of renewable energy. Elucidate. To make something clear, to explain. The professor elucidated the complex theory. She asked him to elucidate his point further. They needed to elucidate the rules for everyone. Enumerate. To mention things one by one. He enumerated the benefits of the new policy. She enumerated the tasks for the day. They enumerated the reasons for their decision. Enunciate. To express or state clearly. She enunciated each word carefully. He needs to enunciate his ideas more clearly. They enunciate their goals at the start of every year. Expound. To present and explain systematically and in detail. He expounded on the benefits of the new system. She expounded her views during the meeting. They expound on their theories in their papers. Proclaim. To announce officially or publicly. The president proclaimed the new policy. She proclaimed her victory to the crowd. They proclaim their independence every year. Reassure. To say or do something to remove doubts or fears. He reassured her that everything was fine. She reassured the team about the project's success. They reassured the customers about the product's safety. Speculate. To form a theory without firm evidence. He speculated about the future of the company. She speculated on the reasons for their absence. They love to speculate on celebrity gossip. Vindicate. To clear someone of blame or suspicion. The evidence vindicated her claim of innocence. He was vindicated by the new findings. They felt vindicated after the truth came out. Engage. To attract and hold interest. The speaker engaged the audience with humor. She engaged her students with interactive lessons. They engaged him in a lively debate. Facilitate. To make an action or process easier. The teacher facilitated the discussion. Technology facilitates remote work. Good planning facilitates success. Hustle. To move or work energetically and rapidly. He hustled to finish the project on time. She hustled through the crowded streets. They hustled to set up the event. Impel. To drive or urge forward. His passion impelled him to start a business. She was impelled by curiosity to explore. They impelled their team to achieve their goals. Mobilize. To prepare and organize for action. The community mobilized to clean the park. She mobilized her friends to join the cause. They mobilized resources for the disaster response. Propel. To drive or push forward. The wind propelled the sailboat. She was propelled by a sense of purpose. They propelled the project to new heights. Usher. To guide someone somewhere. He ushered guests to their seats. She ushered in a new era of technology. They ushered the children into the classroom. Alleviate. To make a problem less severe. The medicine helped alleviate his pain. She tried to alleviate the stress of exams. They worked to alleviate poverty in the city. Ameliorate. To make something better. The new policy will ameliorate living conditions. She took steps to ameliorate the situation. Efforts to ameliorate the economy are ongoing. Augment. To increase or make larger. He decided to augment his income with a part-time job. The new technology will augment our abilities. They plan to augment the team with new hires. Diffuse. To reduce the danger or tension. He managed to defuse the tense situation. She defused the argument with a joke. They worked to defuse the explosive device. Diffuse. To spread widely. The fan diffused the heat throughout the room. She diffused the information to everyone. The scent of flowers diffused through the air. Elevate. To raise to a higher position. The coach aimed to elevate the team's performance. She was elevated to a leadership role. They elevated the debate with insightful points. Mitigate. To make less severe or serious. Measures were taken to mitigate the risks. She tried to mitigate the effects of the accident. They implemented strategies to mitigate damage. Quell. To put an end to. The police were called to quell the riot. She quelled her fears before the presentation. They tried to quell the rumors quickly. Rectify. To correct. The company promised to rectify the error. She rectified the mistakes in the report. They worked to rectify the situation immediately. Rejuvenate. To make young or vigorous again. The spa treatment will rejuvenate your skin. She felt rejuvenated after the vacation. They planned to rejuvenate the old neighborhood. Revitalize. To bring new life or vigor to. The new park revitalized the community. She revitalized the brand with fresh ideas. They aim to revitalize the local economy. Adjudicate. To make a formal judgment or decision. The committee will adjudicate the dispute. He was asked to adjudicate the competition. They adjudicate cases with fairness and precision. Abrogate. To repeal or do away with a law or agreement. The government decided to abrogate the outdated law. They abrogated the treaty after the conflict. It's time to abrogate regulations that hinder growth. Condone. To accept or allow behavior that is morally wrong. We cannot condone such blatant disrespect. She refused to condone his dishonest actions. They condone minor mistakes if the effort is good. Endorse. To give support or approval to. The celebrity endorsed the new product. The board will endorse the proposed changes. She endorsed the candidate for mayor. Enlist. To engage the support or help of. He enlisted volunteers for the cleanup drive. She enlisted the help of her friends for the event. They enlisted the community in their efforts. Exonerate. To clear from blame or wrongdoing. The evidence will exonerate him from charges. She was exonerated by the new testimony. They exonerated him after a thorough investigation. Legitimize. To make something legal or acceptable. The new policy will legitimize their actions. She worked to legitimize the organization's mission. They sought to legitimize their demands legally. Mandate. To give official permission or authority. The law mandates wearing seat belts. She received a mandate to lead the project. They mandated the use of safety equipment. Sanction. To give official permission or approval for. The council sanctioned the new building plans. He received sanctions for his misconduct. They sanctioned the project after much debate. Substantiate. To provide evidence to support or prove. He couldn't substantiate his claims in court. She substantiated her argument with facts. They need to substantiate the allegations quickly. Uphold. To maintain or support a principle or decision. The court upheld the previous ruling. He vowed to uphold the company's values. They uphold high standards in their work. Validate. To prove the accuracy or truth of. The findings validate the initial hypothesis. She needed someone to validate her parking ticket. They validated his concerns about the project. Deride. To mock or ridicule. Critics derided his latest book. She derided his efforts as pointless. They derided the proposal with harsh words. Disparage. To belittle or speak down on. He tends to disparage others' achievements. She disparaged the quality of their work. They disparaged the movie as boring and dull. Discredit. To harm the reputation of. The scandal discredited the politician. She sought to discredit his testimony. They discredited the research with false claims. Excoriate. To criticize severely. The reviewer excoriated the play's performance. He excoriated the team for their poor results. They excoriated the film for its lack of originality. Lambaste. To criticize harshly. The journalist lambasted the government's policy. She lambasted her opponent during the debate. They lambasted the company for its practices. Rebuff. To reject bluntly. He rebuffed their attempts at reconciliation. She rebuffed his advances without hesitation. They rebuffed the offer as insufficient. Vilify. To speak ill of someone or something. He was vilified in the press for his actions. She vilified her rival in front of everyone. They vilified the new policy as unfair. Ascertain. To find out for certain. He tried to ascertain the cause of the problem. She ascertained the truth through investigation. They need to ascertain if the rumors are true. Decipher. To succeed in understanding or interpreting. He struggled to decipher the ancient manuscript. She deciphered the code with ease. They finally deciphered the secret message. Fathom. To understand after much thought. He couldn't fathom the reason for her decision. She finally fathomed the mystery of the case. They tried to fathom the depth of the ocean. Grasp. To understand fully. He grasped the concept quickly. She tried to grasp the complexities of the issue. They grasped the opportunity with both hands. Ponder. To think about something carefully. He pondered the meaning of the dream. She spent hours pondering the proposal. They pondered over the choices ahead of them. Ruminate. To think deeply about something. He ruminated on his past mistakes. She often ruminated about her career choices. They ruminated over the idea for days. Circumvent. To find a way around an obstacle. He tried to circumvent the rules cleverly. She circumvented the problem with a new strategy. They circumvented the issue by working together. Dissuade. To persuade someone not to take a particular action. He dissuaded her from quitting her job. She dissuaded him from making a rash decision. They dissuaded the group from taking risky actions. Elude. To evade or escape from. The thief eluded the police for weeks. She eluded his questions skillfully. They eluded capture by hiding in the forest. Evade. To avoid or escape from. He evaded taxes by hiding his earnings. She managed to evade all his probing questions. They evaded responsibility with excuses. Preempt. To take action to prevent an anticipated event. She preempted his move by acting first. He preempted the crisis by preparing early. They preempted the attack with a strong defense. Stultify. To cause to lose enthusiasm or initiative. The tedious work stultified his creativity. She felt stultified by the monotonous routine. They stultified the team with unnecessary rules. Vacillate. To alternate or waver between different opinions. He vacillated between two job offers. She vacillated about what to wear to the party. They vacillated between excitement and fear. Commence. To begin or start something. The ceremony will commence at noon sharp. They commenced work on the new project. She commenced her speech with a story. Embark. To begin a journey or project. He decided to embark on a new career. She embarked on an adventure around the world. They embarked on a mission to help the needy. Implement. To put into effect. The company will implement the new policy soon. They implemented the changes successfully. She plans to implement new strategies next quarter. Initiate. To start or introduce. He initiated a new training program at work. She initiated the meeting with a brief introduction. They initiated the project ahead of schedule. Proclaim. To announce officially or publicly. The mayor proclaimed a day of celebration. She proclaimed her support for the cause. They proclaimed victory after a long campaign. Bolster. To support or strengthen. They bolstered their arguments with data. She bolstered her confidence with practice. The team bolstered their efforts to win the match. Fortify. To strengthen or secure. The soldiers fortified the camp against attack. She fortified herself with a good breakfast. They fortified their relationship with trust. Reinforce. To strengthen or support with additional material. The teacher reinforced the lesson with examples. She reinforced her point with statistics. They reinforced the bridge to withstand heavy loads. Sustain. To support or maintain over time. They worked hard to sustain their business. She sustained her energy with regular breaks. The foundation sustains programs for youth. Underpin. To support or form the basis for. The theory is underpinned by extensive research. She underpinned her argument with solid evidence. Their success was underpinned by teamwork. Contend. To struggle to overcome a difficulty. She contended with fierce competition. He contends that the law is unjust. They contended for the championship title. Counteract. To act against, to reduce its force or neutralize. The antidote will counteract the poison's effects. She tried to counteract the negative rumors. They counteract stress with meditation. Defy. To openly resist or refuse to obey. The students defied the school rules boldly. He defied all odds to win the race. They defy expectations with their performance. Oppose. To disapprove of and attempt to prevent. She opposed the new policy from the start. He always opposes unfair practices. They opposed the plan with strong arguments. Resist. To withstand the action or effect of. He resisted the urge to eat sweets. She resisted the pressure to conform. They resist changes to their traditions. Subvert. To undermine the power and authority of. They tried to subvert the current regime. She subverted expectations with her bold choices. The plot aimed to subvert the organization's goals. Reform. To make changes for improvement. They worked to reform the outdated policy. She aims to reform the education system. They introduced reforms to boost the economy. Promote. To contribute to the growth or development of. She promotes a healthy lifestyle through her blog. They promoted the event on social media. He was promoted to a senior position last year. Intensify. To increase in degree or strength. The campaign intensified as the deadline neared. They intensified their efforts to win the game. She intensified her study routine before exams. Empower. To give power or authority to. The program empowers women in rural areas. He felt empowered to make a change. They empowered the community through education. Accelerate. To speed up the process. The company aims to accelerate growth this year. She accelerated her pace to catch the bus. They are accelerating the development of the new app. Optimize. To make the best or most effective use of. They optimized the website for mobile users. She optimized her schedule to be more productive. The team is working to optimize resources. Maximize. To make as large or great as possible. They need to maximize the use of available space. She maximized her potential through hard work. The goal is to maximize profits this quarter. Adulate. To praise excessively or obsequiously. Fans adulated the singer after the concert. He was adulated by his followers. They adulate celebrities without knowing them. Affirm. To state as a fact, assert strongly and publicly. She affirmed her commitment to the cause. He affirmed that the news was true. They affirmed their support for the new policy. Assuage. To make less intense. He tried to assuage her fears about the exam. The apology assuaged the situation. They worked to assuage the community's concerns. Belie. To give a false impression of. His calm demeanor belied his inner turmoil. The sunny day belied the coming storm. Her smile belied her true feelings of sadness. Capitulate. To surrender or give in. The city refused to capitulate to the invaders. She eventually capitulated to the pressure. They capitulated after hours of negotiation. Coalesce. To come together to form one mass or whole. The two groups coalesced into a powerful coalition. Ideas coalesced into a solid plan. They coalesced around a common cause. Consign. To deliver to someone's custody. He consigned the package to the delivery service. She consigned her old books to the charity. They consigned their worries to the past. Curtail. To reduce or limit. The company decided to curtail spending. She had to curtail her vacation plans. They curtailed the event due to bad weather. Delineate. To describe or portray precisely. The map delineated the boundaries clearly. She delineated her goals for the project. They delineated the differences in their approach. Disseminate. To spread widely. The organization disseminated the information. She disseminated the findings to her colleagues. They disseminate news through social media. Emulate. To imitate with the intent to equal or surpass. He emulates his mentor's leadership style. She tried to emulate her favorite artist. They emulate successful strategies from others. Engender. To cause or give rise to. His actions engendered distrust among his peers. She hoped to engender a sense of community. They engendered enthusiasm with their speech. Entice. To attract by offering pleasure or advantage. The ad enticed customers with discounts. She enticed him with the promise of adventure. They enticed the cat with a treat. Enumerate. To mention things one by one. He enumerated the reasons for his decision. She enumerated the steps to complete the task. They enumerated the benefits of the new system. Eradicate. To destroy completely. They aimed to eradicate poverty in the region. She worked to eradicate the invasive species. The vaccine helped eradicate the disease. Exacerbate. To make worse. His comments exacerbated the tense situation. She worried that stress would exacerbate her illness. They fear the changes will exacerbate the problem. Exalt. To praise highly. The critics exalted her performance. He was exalted as a hero by the community. They exalted the achievements of their founder. Exculpate. To clear from blame or guilt. The evidence exculpated the defendant. She was exculpated by the new testimony. They were exculpated after an exhaustive review. Exhort. To strongly encourage or urge someone. He exhorted his team to give their best effort. She exhorted him to apply for the position. They exhorted the community to participate. Expropriate. To take possession of for public use. The government expropriated land for the project. She feared her property might be expropriated. They expropriated the buildings for renovation. Foment. To instigate or stir up. The leader fomented unrest among the workers. She was accused of fomenting rebellion. They fomented discontent with their policies. Garner. To gather or collect. He garnered support for his campaign. She garnered praise for her performance. They garnered valuable insights from the survey. Gesticulate. To use gestures to communicate. He gesticulated wildly during his speech. She gesticulated to emphasize her point. They gesticulated to direct the crowd. Imbue. To inspire or permeate with a feeling or quality. His speech imbued the audience with hope. She imbued her art with emotion. They imbued their home with a sense of warmth.